Web3 has the possibility to expand our mind and expand our tent pegs to what is possible.
Communities like this is that we come together to create the solutions that we want in the world.
The community needs your story, so come join us.
Technology is a tool to impact and bring God's kingdom here on earth.
Right? Play to earn, that's where the game changer comes in.
Well, Web3 is all about asset.
What you have to say is what's needed to be said in Hollywood.
People are looking for the miraculous.
Part of taking back some of that ground.
You are bringing the light into such a dark, dark place.
Very focused on, impacting people.
And just getting started. Participate.
Our partnership is helping to cut that code of poverty.
Mentorship, entrepreneurship, and faith. These are your pillars to success.
We have given a solution that we have brought this people from Sony, Disney, and Marvel to solve. Will you be a part of this?
I want it out of my head the moment I let you fell. I cannot remember anything else. The light burning low, surrounded by ghosts. And patterns are painted on the walls of the halls with only the cold of dreams decomposed. We were supposed to be bold, kingdom warriors who fight for what's right. Did we lose a life? No, we never let go. We never lost hope. Now we must rebuild even though the road is so broken and cold. Warriors back to your post. It's not about us, it's about the unborn, the originators, our voice. The weavers and bringers who have yet to come on board. We maintain the tales of before when virtue was true. When we protected and defended youth, it's easy to choose. We had nothing to lose. The blues and bruises providing the proof. We still walking tall in these rooms. While the pathways improve, so let the world ever wind be removed. So we make way for this horizon, a new dawn, and we're building to repair for the respawn. Retaliate against fate by rebuilding the gates. We will have a city again. We will resist the home and a place, regardless of hate, regardless of the shackles they place. So here we are with armor on, submitted to fate, bound low until we saw the soldiers of our last brigade, holding on to the vision of the King's Port made plain, written down on tables with the revelation of the air game. Call the messengers, no delay. Rewrite the future of Electria. Warriors, this is the way. Rewrite your future, warriors. This is the way. Kingdom warriors, yeah, with wisdom and honor. Yeah, we be honored. Honor with the promises of our ancestors, telling us if we go towards it, we'll find it. If we remake the bridges to the towers, we'll reconnect the light and the power, and we'll break whatever blocks the new day by roaring louder. Yeah, we're on it. Yeah, we go onward. Kingdom warriors, Electria, we're promised that we gon' have a home again, and yeah, we know that we on it. Electria waiting for its warriors to return. Here we are, let the ever light burn, light burn, light burn, light burn. Electria waiting for its warriors to return. Here we are, let the ever light burn, light burn, light burn. Electria waiting for its warriors to return. Here we are, let the ever light burn, let the ever light burn. Electria waiting for its warriors to return. Here we are, let the ever light burn, the light burn. Let the ever light burn.
Come on, what is going on, Warriors? That is, man, today we're talking about music, so I wanted to highlight some of our amazing Kingdom Warrior artists. If you guys want to support Sean Donahue, we had some people supporting Sean. You guys, live feed's not. You guys can support Sean in the link right here on Bandcamp, Kingdom Warriors Music. The album is called Kingdom Castle. Shout out to 10 of you guys who already have supported. It's amazing. Let me know if you guys can hear me, where you guys are watching from. It's Eric here in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and I'm super thrilled today. We got, man, a new friend and amazing artist, musician, kingdom leader, bringing the kingdom through EDM from here to Europe to Germany, all over the world. And what I love, what you just saw, you heard a little bit about Michael Morgan, the music that Michael Morgan has. You saw a little bit with Sean Donahue. And we've really been playing around with ideas of, what would it look like in Web3 and even just immersive technology to bring sound, to bring frequencies, to bring healing through sound. So it's really cool when, I got to meet King Topher James, and out of all people, we got connected through Bethel Redding and Richard Gordon, who, as you guys saw Richard speak on Monday. If you haven't seen that talk with Richard, you need to go to kingdomnfts.com and you need to go and be a part of this group and see day one. We'll probably keep the replays up for at least a week. And if you want it longer, you can get you can buy through the $31 VIP pass, gives you access to actually get all this whole course, all 5 days. Richard's talk, Eli's talk, King Topher's talk today, and more. You guys definitely want to be a part of that. This week has just been so powerful. We'll love to hear what you guys are getting out of it. Come on, we got Denmark in the house. Denmark, I know Topher's probably been out there to Denmark. I know you guys probably got some good EDM music. Illinois in the house. Where are you guys coming in from? It is Eric. It is come on, we got missionaries out in Belize. Our favorite missionary, Joshua. Joshua's got his blue hair representing. We got Atlanta, South Africa, sunny California, Florida. Come on. We would need some. I just declared some more vacations for us down in the Florida Keys. I've been watching Outer Banks is out the new season, and I'm like, man, God, we need to go check out the Keys one day with my wife and our kids. But shalom to you guys. Good to see everyone. Tag some of your battle buddies. Like I said, to win an NFT, we only have 100 left. I can't believe it, you guys. It's been over a year selling out of phase 1, 2, and 3 of 7,777 of these NFTs at $222 a piece. It's really been amazing to see warriors around the world come on through education, through art, through music. We've thrown music contests, we've thrown art contests, we've thrown writing contests. We've given tens of thousands of dollars away last year and this year to artists and creatives. And it's just thrilled to see what can happen with the kingdom movement, with people all over the world, are able to just bless each other and really operate like an Acts style church where, we're a for-profit company, but when we come together, man, we can really do damage as if, we're like a charity, a really strong charity that's able to just bless people. And so let me actually announce some of the stuff today. We're going to be giving away, also announcing some of the winners, you guys. So tag some of your teams. We're going to be announcing the winners of first place. Each one of the first place on the team is going to be winning $222, the Kingdom Warriors. So that is going to be huge. So make sure you guys are a part of that. Let me go back to the beginning on the deck I have for you today. Man, it's just been such an amazing week. This is our 10th, you guys. Put number 10. Anything prophetic, any prophetic words you have with number 10. This is our 10th 5-day event where we bring in some of the most amazing speakers around the world that are bringing kingdom solutions to the marketplace, to their sphere of influence. And we basically, for 5 days, we do 1 hour on the main stage. This is the main stage. And then we go backstage on Zoom with the speaker. You can the link that's in the scrolling bar. You can grab your VIP link. I think it should also be in the It should also be, in the description maybe, but team, if you could drop that. Shout out to our amazing Kingdom Warriors staff and team. We got over 20 people working with Kingdom Warriors. Everything from film to music to the emails and automations and all the executive tasks we have. Man, it really does take an army, you guys, and not to mention 700 holders around the world that are basically co-owners through owning the ownership through the NFTs. That is the power of the blockchain. Blockchain gives ownership. So, for you guys, we showed a little bit about this intellectual property, NFTs. NFTs are keys. Put in the comments below. NFTs are keys. They're keys to ownership. And with ownership, it unlocks doors of utility, value, benefits. These could be, we talked a little bit about, these could be movie tickets. This could be conference. You can go to a live conference online. This could be play to earn technology, meaning if you own that NFT and you play a game online, you can earn cryptocurrency. So you're actually earning passive income. The NFTs can open doors for online courses, like we showed you guys with us, where we're unlocking doors for courses and media and different things. And it is kind of early. There's a lot of iterations happening. We were down at ORU speaking at the first Christian Web3 Summit. And, Mike Matthews, the VP of innovation over there, has become a really good friend since the event. He talks about there's 8 iterations of, Bitcoin and things that are happening to really get this stuff in the mainstream to where this technology is really where we can all use it. But what are we doing here at Kingdom Warriors University, Kingdom Warriors U, and Kingdom Warriors? We're here to empower kingdom dreamers and creatives to take back the arts and entertainment mountain by creating epic stories that inspire, encourage, and unite. If you look at today's modern landscape of media, do you see media, news, and information that brings inspiration, that brings encouragement to your soul, that unites us together as humans, as Americans, or as a world, people around the world? No. What you see in the media is division, is discouragement, is like, oh, it's recession, we're all going to die, put your mask on, stay inside your house. We will do the opposite of what the world does. And just by shining the light, we don't even have to rebuke the darkness. We literally just have to turn on our light and let it flow, whether it's through the music, through the art, through your storytelling, through you using your voice and speaking, sharing your stories. And fear of man is a big enemy to your destiny. So I think the biggest thing I've done is get over the fear of man and say, God, like anything I'm still afraid of that is in my way. And Chris Valentin was a big unlock for me. I flew out to California to this event. He said it was a business conference and he was speaking over there. A mentor of mine who also really helped me grow so much, Pedro Adeo from the 100X movement. And Chris Valentin said, sometimes the thing that the enemy is attacking you at the most is the very thing you need to go after. So I want some of you guys to catch this today. And, he even gave us a sword in the spirit. And, I carry my swords. We started Kingdom Warriors. And many of you guys know I used to be Army paratroopers. So, but, and I ended up just cutting off the giant of fear. And I did like 30 podcasts. I interviewed 30 leaders. I started imperfect. I didn't know what I was doing. And I just started, even saying, you'll still see me on my talks now. I still say, I still kind of, still am not, I was basically just, stuttering speaker, very afraid to speak online. And God really just helped me just navigate and deliver, because sometimes the thing you need to go after and the tribe that you're supposed to serve is on the other end of your fear. Fear is an open door for you, and it's an invitation. We just passed 222 February 22nd, and it's time for many of us to go after our fears. One of the fears was like, what are people going to think of me if I dyed my hair? They're going to think I'm, all these weird names and all this stuff. And I'm like, and God's like, well, what do you care? Like, you're who in the NFT world and in the gaming world. He's like that's something that would break. One is going to break the fear I had of dyeing my hair, because I was like, only girls dye their hair. It was just the ideology I had. And my wife would encourage me to do it, and I started hearing the Holy Spirit to do it. Holy Spirit, talk to me about it. And then since then, it's really unlocked even more fear, or unlocked more things that I'm not afraid. It's like, what does it matter what people think? Like, you don't get your validity of what you're doing in your life, your mission, your purpose from anyone else. You can only get it from your belief in yourself and God. And once you do that, you're just going to find your lane. You're going to serve the people who are attracted to you. You're going to use your message powerfully, boldly, and non-ashamed, because it's like, if people don't like what I'm talking about, Jesus, making films with Lord of the Rings actors, writing books, inspiring thousands of people to go after their dreams, to use technology to advance the kingdom. If they don't like that stuff, then that's fine. But if you like these stories, you like these worlds that we're building for, our kids, and having a kingdom family of people to come together to advance the kingdom, then this is your tribe, this is your community. So part of our amazing community right here, we talked about sending amazing art. We actually just got a new art piece. I need to shout you guys out. I don't know who sent this, but this is an amazing piece of art that was just sent. Let me actually remove this. So you guys, this is the power of creating your movement and not being afraid and going boldly. Is people create amazing things and just gift you. And we've had people send diamonds from heaven. One of our holders sent a diamond from heaven, gold flakes, pieces of art. All this art behind me was gifted. And that is the power of going after your dreams. Is you get to find your tribe, you get to meet your tribe, you get to serve your tribe. And I get to wake up every day and serve the people I love, my extended kingdom family. So put in kingdom family in the comments below. It's just amazing. Breaking fear, going after your you're still going to have obstacles, you're going to still have trials, but you're going to be able to hurdle them like a kingdom hurdler. And God will give you the ups, whether you're Hispanic like me, South African. I'm a Hispanic South African white guy. God will still give you ups and to jump over your obstacles. So NFT NY, this was us next to the $1 billion brand, which Kingdom Warriors is next as far as $1 billion IP goes over the next few years. Bored Ape Yacht Club, we had our art over there, and we have the last 100, you guys. The last 100 of these Kingdom Warriors for you. It's the link in description, kingdomwarriorsnft.io/adventure. I can't tell you guys anymore. We also are giving $22,000 away in cash and crypto for people who actually enter in. So this is a last call. We have turned our intellectual property into a film series with Lord of the Rings actor Rhys Davies and some other amazing actors that you guys may have heard of. But there's also one of our holders has turned our IP into a coloring book that's going to be released on Amazon. And actually, if you're a holder, you get the online edition for free. So that's what you get. You see a little bit about what we're building by buying land in the megaverse. And I just declare that this is a season that you're going to own digital real estate that's valuable. We got people trying to give us $3,000 for this right now. I'm like, $3K, you're crazy. Like, this can be worth $300,000 in the next few years as we're building our world out. We just showed you guys a little bit of our world. I will show you. So that was that. And I'm going to show you actually a real quick 30-second. That was what it started with. Our developers in 6 months have now turned it into this 30 seconds and real quick. Come on, that was awesome. We got like libraries of Congress in there. We got the kingdom showing a little sneak peek. You guys with courses, when people are holders, we have all these amazing courses from Dr. Brian Simmons to James Gold to Johnny Enlow's coming up, Prophet Jesse Shamp, from prophetic and apostolic leaders to, and I declare we're going to get Chris Valentin to speak in here soon. I actually helped launch a challenge of a friend that brought Chris Valentin on and even Lou Angle onto their event. So we from film production with working with Hamid and Dr. Mark, Camille, and Janae. They have 2 films with Lionsgate right now. So as we even get our series potentially on Netflix or Stars or wherever we get it, And then also we on the feature film, we have a really close connection with Lionsgate to get our script in front of them and get a minimum guarantee for the film. So we're excited over the next few years with the film franchise, with what we've been able to do with your story to turn it into real marketable and actual things in the real world. Because it's okay to have an idea, but just having an idea, if you don't execute on your idea, then it means nothing. Everyone has an idea of, oh, I'm going to do flying cars. You want an amazing idea? Go create flying cars. You're going to be the next billionaire. But who is actually going to take that idea and execute on the flying car and on the engineers you need, on the capital you need, on the team you need? And most people won't do that. And so we want to just not just inspire you for ideas, but also show you, bring in stories of people who are actually executing, who actually have actionable ways to bring results. If you want to win a $222 worth of, we're actually giving $444, one on the business page, Eric Skeldon, one on the digital one. Make sure you're on our email list because we email that giveaway away each day. And anyway, so you're going to tag 3 people who need to hear King Topher's story today. And then also you're going to share it. And we're going to pick today's and yesterday's stream on, I think, this Sunday. We're going to announce it in the group. So make sure you're at kingdomnfts.com. So man, last but not least, we got my man King Topher about to come on. Like I said, it's been amazing hearing some of his music and stories and things he's doing. And my wife really wanted to be here, but she had to go drop off our kids. We're about to finally get a little staycation without any kids. So shout out to all of you guys. And even Eli, one of our speakers, Eli, just sewed $1,000 into my wife and I to have some date nights and to pay for a babysitter. So shout out to amazing speakers, because that was a huge blessing, Eli. We love you. And anyways, King Topher marks the beginning of a new era for the kingdom. And you guys remember we talked about storytelling? King Topher has really learned how to bring storytelling into music, into the brand. This is a big key for you guys as you're building your personal brand. You need to bring epic storytelling in there. Here we go. After a long, prosperous reign as King Arthur, King Topher is grabbing the royal crown and leading a revolution. Full of swag, style, and purpose, King Topher's new music speaks to a generation of listeners who are hungry for house music with substance. King Topher is arming his kingdom with weapons to slay on the dance floor and music to inspire hope and creativity. It's time for a new king. So doesn't that just seem like King Topher is like our tribe? Also, shout out to King Topher. He's a new kingdom general in the house of Kingdom Warriors. King Topher, what's good?
How you doing?
Man, good. Oh, King Topher, I would love for you, Topher, to just I would love for you to even just share real quick. You've actually, you're a new kingdom general in Kingdom Warriors. You saw a little bit of what we're working on behind the scenes. Love for you to share with everyone, because we actually found out that we've kind of like got introduced a few times over the past year as we're developing and building and the arts and stuff, and so it's kind of cool to see it finally come to culmination like a year later, and you get to be on stage with us. So this is amazing. You guys in the crowd, let us know, show some love with King Topher. Go on Spotify, you can look up King Topher, check out his song Welcome Home, and make sure you add it to your playlist. But awesome. Yeah, I'd love to hear just how you've heard about us over the past year first.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how I don't know, it's like a year and a half ago or a year ago.
It was a long time ago.
A buddy
about a year and a half ago
who mentioned what you guys were
Chris
doing.
Gordon. Shout out to Chris Gordon and Russ and Chris's dad, Russ. Someone tagged them. Watch this.
Yeah. I was leading a call for people in the music industry that know Jesus, want to know Jesus. That was during COVID, and so we had a ton of people all over getting on, and Chris was one of those people. And we were talking about crypto, NFT, Web3 stuff, and telling him about this project that we wanted to be working on. He had mentioned you guys, and so I've been following you guys for a while and just kind of from afar, and been fun to watch and see what you guys are doing and just see the creativity and how you guys are really telling the story of the kingdom of heaven, but through amazing art and stuff like that. And so then it was not that long ago, Richard Gordon was down speaking. you guys bumped into each other at Oral Roberts, and then
Yeah.
we were both on Richard and I were on the same flight from San Francisco back to Reading because I had shows that weekend, and we were
That's awesome.
saw each other at the airport, and then we were chatting, and then hit you up on, I think I hit you up on it was Instagram, and then we're like, oh, let's just connect and chat, and so then here we are.
Come on, you guys. So that is the power of connections. And even like sometimes if you're looking for your audience, like I think King Topher, like I remember seeing him and I was like, dude, yeah, I want to talk to him one day. And we've kind of like went back and forth a little bit. But you guys, even when you want to like talk to someone or meet with someone one day, I feel like a lot of times, like Richard Gordon, as I got closer to Richard, and then he saw Richard posts a story of a picture of us two, and he's like, "Oh yeah, multiple people have told me about that person." And I kind of always do this whole twos and threes too. When two or three people tell me you have to talk to that person, I'm like, okay, like there's something here. Like, God, are you telling me I need to talk to this? Because I do get, and King Tover, you probably do on Instagram as you grow your brand, like everyone kind of sometimes wants to reach out to you. Hey, can I get an hour of your time? Hey, can you jump on a Zoom? Hey, can I go to coffee? So you kind of got to protect your time at a certain point. Otherwise, you won't be efficient because you're just trying to spend an hour with everyone and then it's not effective.
Yeah, you got to be careful, especially you get this as a dad and a husband too. Like,
Yeah, my wife would like
there's a lot of things going on, so your time is no longer just your own, and yeah, that's where you just you learn to just chat with the Holy Spirit. Like, is this of importance right now? Is this something for the future? Is this something never? Like, and just have conversations in here. And if I don't feel like, oh, I've got to reach out to someone right now, I feel like I need to really do this at the moment, I won't. I'll let it sit and just trust that the Lord will bring the connection at some point and open opportunities for that. And so I tend to play the slow game a little bit more, and just see. I don't want to strive and try and force things to happen. And so
yeah, I
I'd
think
rather
that's
let
what
things
I'm
kind of stew and brew, and then at the right time, like with this, like perfect timing for us to get together and connect. And but I've known about you for over a year, so
I
yeah.
love it. And I love that too. It's like you don't in the kingdom of heaven, you don't ever really have to force your way to like get in a position or get in a certain place in line. Like God will actually, the Bible says that your gifts will make room for you and put you before kings, and then you could serve kings with solutions. So I want you guys to remember that. Like as you guys are out there, developing your skill sets and your things, like the your gifts are going to just make room for you to be and serve people. So Topher, for people who don't know, your story, you DJ with Tiesto, you're at the biggest EDM festivals, you're bringing shining light, you're playing like like these spiritual sounds, angelic sounds, plus like words from heaven that are speaking to people. And some of these people are on like, and I think why my wife and I really just love what you're doing because both of us kind of we were in the EDM world. We were in the spiritual world we were Christians, but then, or at least for myself, I was Christian my whole life. But for 3 years, I was like, God, I just want to just check everything out to make sure if this stuff is real. Because right when I got freshman in college, they were like, oh, Big Bang. And everyone's just partying. I was a college athlete. And then as a smoking weed and everything. And then anyways, long story short, like everyone just partied. And I was like, I want to see, like, I didn't know my purpose, plan, nothing. Like it was like just really just trying to figure it out. Anyways, God would meet me at these clubs, nightclubs, and EDM clubs in Dallas, Texas, and God would meet me, and I would take ecstasy in some of these things and just like to feel spiritual and connect with like God, because I knew that He had to be real. I knew there was a higher power. I knew there was like some universal power. That was where I was at in my spirituality at the time. And I didn't know for sure it was Jesus because I was going over the logic of, okay, there's a billion different religions in the world, or I don't even know how many. There's just millions of religions. Like, and it's like I thought of it, the way my brain was functioning at the time. I was like, if you did a mathematical, if you spun the wheel and it landed on Jesus Christ, like I basically put it like He was like as even as all of the rest. So I was like in my head, I was logically thinking at 18, like, okay, if I just spun the wheel, the odds of it landing on Jesus were like 0.000. So I was like in my head, I was like, okay, like I need a confirmation. I need an encounter with God. And I actually would seek encounters even when I was on ecstasy because I didn't ever feel really like my purpose never really feel like partying. I did feel like connected to people and like, man, we're one. I love you, brother. But I really just I would remember just like kind of just like trying to receive. And dude, God would meet me on shrooms, LSD, and even ecstasy. And okay, for my wife, her big story is someone someone actually someone or there was a ministry giving out water bottles and orange juice after they left at 4 a.m. of the club. And so anyways, so they basically just gave a prophetic word and gave water. And then dude, after that, she pretty much like God spoke to her and told her she wasn't supposed to be with her boyfriend. And like at 17, she just got radically saved at 17 and stuff. Anyways, so that my wife has a radical story. Just so I guess what I'm saying is, and over the years, my wife and I have really studied like EDM, and we look even up Christian EDM or just anyone who's remixing any like heavenly frequencies with the sounds, and even some of the old school big EDM songs. There was all these like they would mix in like these old Christian hymns or worship songs. Like I was singing this morning, I gotta praise you like I should.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's like you can it's like film, you can talk about praising God or worshiping or and have these sounds and people are really just seeking an encounter. So anyways, I'd love for you to share your hero's journey and then let's go into like really how we can even on the front lines bring excellence in our music and our arts and entertainment to really reach people outside of just Christianese.
Yeah, so I guess just to get a little background of me, I started DJing 23 years ago, which, I got my first pair of turntables for Christmas and my birthday when I turned 15 and just fell in love with music. And then a couple years later, heard dance music for the first time, or trance music is what it was really referred to. And I heard this song by Armin van Buuren called Communication, and I just was blown away. And I just was like, this is what I was made for. So I started buying dance records, and then a few years later, started DJing and or started producing. Sorry, not DJing. I'd been DJing, started producing and learning how to write music and the whole production side of things. And then in 2006, I did a bootleg remix of Snow Patrol's Chasing Cars before it was really famous. And this song blew up in the dance world. And then it kind of faded away after 6 or 7 months. And then the original song became a worldwide hit. And the remix became massive again and even bigger. And that was during that moment, I was like, oh, maybe I could really do this. Maybe I have what it takes to, the know-how and the expertise to actually make records that can, go out and have an impact and make a career out of this. And so started writing a lot more of my own music, and then got connected with Tiesto. He signed a bunch of my records, played all my songs. He had me come do some shows with him. And then basically, signed more record deals over the, different years and wrote a bunch of music, from signing songs to Skrillex's record label to signing to Republic Records, which is same record label as Drake, Taylor Swift, Post Malone, to then Don Diablo's label, and then starting my own record label. And all along there playing shows, getting to play the main stage at Tomorrowland, which is kind of the pinnacle of festivals that you can play in dance music, and been able to tour all over the world, from all over Asia to all over Europe, Middle East, and North America. And so that's where things are at now. We're working on a ton of new projects, working on my second album, and we're really pushing into the label right now and developing a handful of artists that are Kingdom artists as well, that just make incredible house music that carry the heart of the Father. And we're trying to make a big impact on the industry, and we're working on some projects right now to try and raise some money that we can really, flip this thing on its head, and see what can happen. So that's kind of the gist of where things are at now. I'm excited for 2023. It's going to be a really spectacular year for, I think, creativity and music and culture and what the kingdom of heaven is going to happen. We're going to see it happen in profound ways on the earth through creativity.
Man, come on. That's so good. And I think it's it's interesting. There was a guy at Bethel that I met as well, Mark, who's also creating some amazing technology.
Mark Miller?
Yeah, Mark Miller. And then
I'm an advisor. I'm one of the artist advisors for Label Coin.
Yeah, so Label Coin, and so they're doing some amazing stuff with that. Would you share a little bit about Label Coin and some of the solution that they're bringing, and what you really see with the creativity for or royalties, and how Web3 can bring better royalties, better ownership for artists potentially?
Well, I think the thing that label coin is going to solve is um, it's going to allow you to almost treat your songs as like an individual business that you can sell off equity in each time if you wanted to. And it's really clever because it's almost like people can start trading songs and shares in songs like they do stock. And which is interesting that it has never happened before because if you, I mean, we make investments into all sorts of different things, like, but if you hear a song, you're like, wow, this thing is incredible. I think it's going to be huge. Now you have the opportunity to invest in that song. So if it does grow and become successful, then you're going to make money off of your investment. And so I think it's really clever. And what it does is it's going to help artists generate way more revenue than it ever has before. And you won't have to just get your money from touring, which is kind of where a lot of the industry is at right now. For a lot of artists, it's really hard to make enough money to just sit at home and work in the studio. And so this will actually kind of change things and bring way more money into the pocket of the artists rather than, having to go tour. And that's
So
how you
that's
make
a
money.
big thing because the whole touring, it's almost even like the idea of if you look at NFL athletes or NBA, it's like, I mean, you're away from your wife and kids like half the year or whatever, however long that season is. My uncle was a professional pitcher and even baseball coach for 20 years. And just to see how much like time they have to be away just to earn whatever their salary is. And obviously, if you're an NFL and like a good NFL or NBA player, you're making 20 million, 10 million. You're like, oh, I can't complain. Like I'm making 10, 20 million.
Yeah.
So it's like hard to complain, but at the end of the day, it's like, what would it like? Is that what the kingdom has for us if we're always away from our wife and kids? And that's been something I've really thought of. And COVID made us think of, I think, all more. And we have our CMO Timothy here to just chat more on even marketing or branding and like really thinking about whether it's music or Web3 to have some maybe good questions Timothy might bring in perspective. But we yeah, when you think of when and during COVID, I really thought of God, how do I spend more time with my wife, more time with my 5 daughters? Because their first 4 years is their most formative time for kids. And Timothy also has plenty of kids. You can look behind him, and so it's like when you think of just when you think of like God, do you really want me working 60, 80 hours a week? And especially when you're traveling all over the place, like 60, 80 hours a week. But then if you're traveling, it doesn't matter how much you're working because you can only get on the phone and maybe FaceTime your kids and speak life to them, love them, give them touch. As you learn about the 5 love language, you learn about touch, words of affirmation. Like, and I think sometimes I get like one of my biggest struggles is my dad was from South Africa, very emotionally unavailable. It's like, oh, Eric, he'll kind of pat you on the back every now and then and say, oh, good job, how's work doing? But very always wanting to be safe, conservative, with job and work and definitely not entrepreneurship. And so, anyways, just I that's something I really thought about. So Timothy, any questions on dialogue on that for Topher around just
Well, I'm curious.
lifestyle, even as an artist?
I was just listening to recently listening to some of his music, and "Believe in the Kingdom" is a nice chill track. I
Yeah.
kind of fun. But anyway, my question would be like, what are you seeing in the music industry, and what are your eyes seeing that might be helpful for our audience and understanding, those aspiring musicians of all kinds? What's the blockchain doing to this world? You just alluded to it with label coin, but how do you see this playing out over the next 5 to 10 years? What does this look like and feel like?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell exactly just because there's been so many kind of peaks and valleys with how like the perception of Web3 stuff, especially NFTs over the last couple of years have been on this kind of roller coaster ride of like a couple of years ago, every DJ was having some sort of drop and buying stuff and just making a huge fuss. And then you don't see any of them talking about it really anymore right now. And yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens in the long term with all of that stuff. But what I do believe, and I think Eric and I talked about this when we chatted last time, was that usually every, I don't know, 5 to 8 years, there's like a turning in the music industry as far as how we consume music, as far as platforms. So, it used to be, vinyl, and then you had cassettes and CDs, and then we had Napster come along, and Napster just blew up everything. that we knew of, and then no one was making money off that, but the songs were getting everywhere. And then off the back of that, we have iTunes, which is new and brand new, and that's the new standard. And then after iTunes, it turned into we had the SoundCloud era, where everything was about SoundCloud and how many streams you're getting on SoundCloud. Even though you're not getting paid, it's about exposure, it's about getting it to a million people and all this stuff. And then you have Apple Music and Spotify and all these other ones now, and it's about monetizing the streaming, which is great. But the problem is they don't pay very well compared to, when you could buy music. But you reach a million more, a gajillion more people now. And so I think the next thing is going to be a version of like streaming will still be the way that people consume music, because people don't really care about the tangible aspect of owning music as much right now. Maybe it will shift, but it'll become a model where I think it's going to be way more artist community driven than necessarily like industry driven or like label driven, where the major labels own, if you sign to a major label, they get 80% of the royalties, you get 20%, and they give you an amount of money up front. But if your song, it's so hard to make a living off that type of a setup, where maybe now it's, you can be in way more control of the journey of the music as far as how it gets pushed to the public, and you'll receive way more of the finances because of, even like, let's say, there's going to be some sort of Web3 music player. I don't know what exactly it's going to look like yet. And I still think it's a ways away, because you still got to just convert your average person over to Web3 in general. Like that's going to be one of the big barriers. But I do think even something like label coin is a genius way of kind of being the bridge between those two worlds and being able to generate real revenue for artists that will excite everybody that's involved with those songs. So I think
whether you're like
sort of new consumption, like there's gonna be some sort of new thing where I'm not sure Spotify will be the standard in 4 years, if that makes sense.
Okay. So whether you're in a physical room, in a concert or an experience there, or whether you're in some kind of dabbling in some virtual experiences, basically, you're still going to need some of this way to track all the purchases and all the consumption. And so blockchain and this technology, which leads into the NFT world, of course, allows for a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more exposure, a little bit more kind of marketing momentum, even in what you're doing, as you're almost functioning as your own label. We always talk about be your own bank, be your own label, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, the hard thing about that, though, is if you don't have a massive following, well, then you're not going to reach anybody. So this is the tricky thing. I think there'll always be some sort of version of labels or curators. I mean, but the other thing I think will massively change in the music industry is payments. So like blockchain can make stuff way quicker. So right now, let's say, so I had 2 different songs on Love Island in this past season in the UK, which is a huge show over there. Okay. You don't make money from like the master side, you make money from the publishing side of the song. So if you wrote the song and you're on the publishing side, you get money. But the problem is I won't see that money for probably 12 to 18 months, because of the way that everything slowly moves through the system and then finally gets to the artist, which it's crazy to think that there's a song that made money in January and another one, a couple weeks ago, and I won't see that money until summer of next year.
How does the artist survive like that?
That's where a blockchain, I think, will solve a lot of problems once labels get on board. Is it can become this instantaneous, like in real time, payout of what you're deserved and what you're creating as far as revenue.
Yeah, it's interesting too. Is what we're talking to one of the largest like Christian metaverse that they're about to start selling land. They raised $10 million to build the megaverse that they're working on. And and I play Fortnite with my kids and with some the old youth group I was with. And on Fortnite they'll bring Travis Scott, they'll bring whatever, they could bring Bieber, any of these people. And I just keep seeing like the world for digital collectibles, to where we have our players, right? 80 million people, in the kingdom, hanging out in places with amazing visuals, they can have their avatar run around, have their sword, whatever. And Fortnite's fun, honestly. Like it's just a lot of fun for me. But anyways, and I've gotten really good at it. I have like a ton of victory royales, but anyways, it's like once you
I've
get good at
never
that game,
played.
it's actually you got to play sometimes. It's like
Yeah.
really fun. But anyways, dude, so in the Fortnite, they'll just like on New Year's, they'll have New Year's like celebration. So all these players are just getting in and they feel connected and belonging. And that's ultimately what everyone that is seeking, desiring real heaven in their heart. They just want to connect and belong to heaven because they're from a home, but now we're
Yep.
here in this earth and we see all the crazy corruption and we're like, dude, like I don't feel connected to this place sometimes. But anyways, with heaven, like we feel connected to it. And that's why when you get in Bethel or you get in heaven culture, you're like, dude, like, can I just live here? Like stay here? And anyway, so when in Fortnite, they bring in these artists and they've had Deadmau5, who's in your realm, Deadmau5, dude, it was like over 20 million people came to a concert live in Fortnite. In their Unity, they built it on, I think it's Unreal Engine, not Unity, Unreal Engine. And so that's what I'm seeing with games and gamification for the kingdom is what if we had, even 10 million users, players, 20 million players, and we had, you and other kingdom artists playing in front of 50,000 people, and we don't even have to have it to where and at first it's like it doesn't have to be where the biggest like epic games, but to start somewhere, build a video game, build our worlds, and hang
Yeah.
out.
I mean, on that front, I do think concerts are going to look different in the future too, where as technology becomes way more advanced, like, you'll like, I was having a conversation recently and we were just throwing out other ideas. Like, I think eventually someone like Coldplay could throw a concert where when the technology gets to this level, they'll do a concert, let's say at the O2 in London, and they'll have so many cameras set up that you can be at home with your goggles on. And I think at this point, they'll have created like full body suits that you can wear so that you, instead of just hearing the music in your ears and seeing it, you'll be able to feel the music and the bass and everything. And then you in your room at home will be able to walk around the concert venue in real time and like look and see everything and almost feel like you're at the concert, but you could be in Los Angeles while that's going on in London. I think we'll see more of that. And that will change the face of touring as well, because if you can sell, something like Coldplay, they could sell 15 million tickets to one show probably. Like, imagine
For
that much money
$5,
being generated, and then like then knowing you're going to have $400 million to invest into a show, whatever it is, like you could make the craziest experience ever. And so stuff's going to go more and more in that direction, I think.
100%. So I want to show a little bit about this song and have you speak on this song, King Topher, Welcome Home, featuring Dante Bowe and Naomi Rain from Maverick City. So let me play this, and they just won some Grammys too. So it's cool to see, people actually on, obviously there is, of course, whatever people, a lot of Christians only like to point at some of the demonic, people showing up at the Grammys. But I believe that we can actually show up with excellence, at the Grammys, at, whether it's Denzel Washington winning stuff, Chris Pratt winning stuff. We want to bring Chris Pratt in our films. We want to bring excellent Hollywood actors like John Rhys Davies from Lord of the Rings in our films, because I think we don't just want only the Christianese stuff. We need to be at the forefront if we really believe that our Father created everything and that He owns everything and that He's the most creative person in the world, and that's our dad. So we got that genes and DNA, then we should be creating some of the most epic stuff. And so Topher is really modeling this. And so I want to just share some of this with you and then have Topher talk about this song real quick. Bring the kingdom. That is so awesome. So people know my main instrument has been a shofar, so I just love that you such an amazing DJ doing some amazing stuff. I'm like my little brother Luke is like our musician, so I'm not. So man, someone said I want to dance. Come on, let us know what you guys think about that. That was just amazing. Come on. Yeah, quality entertainment. And I love the story. So tell us a little bit about the story and how you're bringing the kingdom and working with some of the biggest artists in the world and bringing the kingdom through that like that journey of, that guy was just wanting, to be celebrated and to be, go home and probably have a family. Looked like he probably didn't, where's his dad, where's his mom? Like he just wants.
Yeah, I mean, this song came about. I was on Instagram, and a buddy of mine works for Bethel Music, and he posted this clip of just this big epic welcome. I was like, what is this, bro? Like it was just this, it was just the chorus singing that welcome home thing. And I was like, what is this song? He's like, oh, it's coming out on our album and in a couple months. Da, da, da. I was like, yo, send me the stems to this. I'm gonna flip it into a house record because like I didn't even need to hear the rest of the song. I knew I was like, oh, I just like this could be I could flip this into an amazing house song. And this is really different because this is the first time I've ever sampled a vocal from anywhere else. And normally I write my own vocals or write them with people and just it's all original. But I was like, this is too special. And so he sent over the stems and I flipped it into this house record. And he was like, dude, this is crazy. And he played it for everyone at Bethel Music and they were like, whoa, this is special. And then Dante and Naomi loved it as well. And so everyone signed off on it, and then we were able to release it. And yeah, so this one was a little bit different, just because it's I sampled the vocals from somewhere else. But I just love. I have another one that I sampled from Kanye's Sunday Service Choir, and we're working on that, getting that one cleared. I've never seen two songs like I've been DJing a really long time, and I don't say this lightly. I have never seen two songs every single show do what it does to the crowd every single night. Like no matter what city I'm playing in. And these are not Christian events. These are just clubs where people are going out and they're partying and they're on drugs and they're just doing whatever they want to do. And I play these records and it literally turns into like a worship time where like everyone's got their hands up, everyone's dancing and celebrating, and there's so much joy. You can just feel the room lift. And that's where I'm like, all right, Lord, we need more of this music. People's souls are hungry for this, whether they know it, where the songs are coming from, or the heart behind it. It doesn't necessarily matter because they're hearing this and they're coming alive as people. And that's the hope, is that we, that for me at least, and as a label, that we can create music and release it to the world where when they hear it, they come alive as people, and they can, they can be filled with joy and with hope, because the world is just crippled with fear and anxiety right now. And so, the Lord shared with me, over a year ago, he's like, look, if you guys don't release hopeful, joyful music, like, where is it going to come from? Because if my people who know hope and joy don't do it, the world can't offer that to anybody right now. So you guys need to do this. And so that's been the heart behind a lot of what we've been writing and creating and pressing into over the last year. This is very intentional, like hopeful, joyful, like kind of gospel vocal, what I call it kingdom house music, where it's not worship music, but it carries the heart of worship, and it sounds like really great house music. And I think we're able to do it because the standard of which we're doing things is just as good, or not better, if not better than the industry. Like it has to be excellent. If it was just bad sounding stuff, nobody would care. But you have to be great in your craft as well as carry the heart of the Father for it to really make an impact.
That's so good. And you're talking about, even I can't wait to come to Nashville and we can, break some bread. But you're friends with some of, like you have Dante Bow in there, Brandon Lake from Bethel. Brandon Lake has really just broken out as an artist, and really just like God is just anointing him. And he's an amazing writer and like student of just serving God, like following this holy relationship with the Holy Spirit, and even for his wife and family. And I think God's really just been like blessing what his writing, and you guys are going to work on some writing together. What do you think it is about a competitive advantage for someone who really hears from heaven and then can write? Because they've been just writing out bangers, and some of the Christian world hates because they hate on everything from Asbury to everything. But
yeah, but I mean, like you can't. I mean, I don't know. Like I don't care what other Christians think. Like,
yeah,
I'll be really honest.
Exactly.
I really don't care. Like if this, yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know if I'd call it a competitive advantage, because I'm not trying to compete with anybody else with this music. I'm not up against anybody. It's just the Lord has asked me to make this, and so I want to go out and do that in the best possible way with Him, where we're creating songs that are super catchy, carry His heart, and are
Mhm.
done in a level of excellence that is great. And so I'm not really paying attention to what this person's doing, what that person's doing. There's enough space in music for lots of people to do well and be successful, and so there's definitely no competition with it. Um, it's more of just, all right, Lord, like what is your heart for the world right now? Like, what do people need to hear about you, from you? You know, is it oh, we just want a really fun, like I did a song called Lose Control, and it's literally just a really fun song where you're gonna just dance and smile. And it's not spiritual, it's not like a spiritual sounding song at all, but like
Mhm.
it's so fun. But every time you play it, everyone in the little club like comes alive and like opens up and starts smiling. And so it's like maybe that's what you need to do on a song, or maybe it is something like Welcome Home where there's it's way more of a message, you know? And so it's just about spending time with the Holy Spirit and saying, all right, what do you want to say to this generation? Okay, well let's figure out how
I,
to do this in
I think
song
it's a good
format.
reminder, King Topher, that what we do in our art and craft can be a type of stealthy worship. It can be a type of overt worship, covert worship. Like it's all worship if you're a believer. Like, but the question is whether people even like begin to understand or feel something in the atmosphere. And there's we have the five senses, but we also have other things going on too in the room. So the fact that you're aware and cognizant of that gives you that edge, I think, that maybe some others might not have. And it's good to have you here sharing your story because it gives permission to those listening. And ladies and gentlemen, go sign up, have your kids uh, connect with King Topher in some way, shape, or form online somewhere. Just look him up. Just Google. Just find it wherever he's at, and just follow him everywhere, and see what he's up to. Because we want to be praying for you.
Mm.
How can we be praying for you as a movement, like as a tribe? Like we're blowing up right now, like in our own circles, right? So how can we be really just keeping you top of mind, top of heart? What do you got going that we can, you can transparently share with us that we would want
Yeah, I think
to about?
I mean, the easiest way is to, if you just follow me on Instagram, that's probably the easiest way. I'm really active on there. And if you DM me, I'll respond and things like that. And so that's the easiest way to keep in touch and follow what's going on, and follow on Spotify or Apple Music. And so I just had a new song come out today called Don't Be Scared. It's just a really fun house track. It's just really a really fun, feel good piano house record. And so yeah, I mean, listen to the music, support the music, but yeah, we're currently, I mean, and I've had so many prophetic words about this and trying to figure out what this looks like, but just we're trying to get somewhere between $1 and $3 million together, because to basically ramp this up to a level, like just a whole different level, and really be able to invest into the artists and the people and everything, because the level of excellence is there. Like it's not, we're not short on any of that. Like, I mean, the biggest DJs in the world are playing the records and they stream well and all this stuff, but we want to actually change the culture of the dance music industry and how it's run. And we want to do that where it looks like family in a lot of ways, you know, where you're not just, oh, you give us art, we sell it, we both make money, high five, that's it. Like that's not our heart. It's like, how do we raise people up to become, I mean, it's only guys on the label right now, and we're not opposed to women sending music, but most dance music DJs and producers are dudes. And so, you know, how do I raise them to become amazing men and husbands and then someday fathers? And, you know, what does that look like, all through being part of this label that is going to generate wealth for your family and for your kids and all this stuff. And so I've worked with all these different labels and the biggest DJs in the industry. And so I know how things work. And I'm like, oh, there's some gaps here where if we had the fuel to throw onto the fire, like we could kind of, everyone would be like, whoa, I've never seen anyone do it like that. And I think that's the issue with the music industry, and people go, why does it look the way it does? Because they've never seen it be profitable any other way yet. And until they
Yeah.
see it be profitable in another way, they won't change their ways. Because at the end of the day, people that for labels, it's a business where they're trying to make money, and I get that to a point, but until they've seen it be profitable, like they won't have pop stars stop singing about, suicide and depression and revengeful breakups and this and bitterness, whatever, because that sells and it's made them so much money. And it's like, well, you know, yeah, like so I was signed to Republic Records, and they just signed the weekend before me, and we were talking about. I mean, the principal doing my marketing, we were doing his marketing, and we were just having these conversations of like, how much money they were spending on some of the projects for him, and I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, yeah, but like we'll make it all back because like we know his content works and sells, and they were like, yeah, like we love him because he literally said, I will do anything to make us money, whatever it is, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it to be successful and famous, and I want to be the biggest artist in the world. And so until there's this shift of like something else other than like I'll sell my soul and like I'm not saying he has, I don't know him personally, but like some of his stuff's pretty dark. But like until there's a different model that they can see is profitable, nothing will really change as far as how business is done in the music industry. It's like, well, I have enough experience in that world, and I believe God wants to shift and change so much right now, especially with where things are at in 2023. I'm like, man, if we had some money to like really, really ramp things up, like this could shift everything dramatically. So that's the big project we've been pressing into is like, because I don't want, like, it's cool that I've gone around and done all this stuff, but it can't be just me. Like we need a whole like generation and a whole movement of artists doing this.
Well, I can tell you, I want to commit to listening. When I'm listening to your music, I'm going to immediately just be praying for those things specifically because I'm hearing like you're becoming more of a mentor in the space for other kingdom movers and shakers. I'm hearing that you're seeing into the future with excellence, not just trying to make a couple of bucks. I'm hearing like some vision there that has more to do with like being kind of the distributor label, like mentor, kind of like in working with the blockchain and kind of a futurist vibe going on too there. So I'll be praying for all that stuff. And if you put that in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, if you're committing to praying for King Topher, and as you're listening to his music and some of, just put it in the chat. I'll pray because
Kingdom Warriors has a prayer army for
an
the
army
kingdom.
for you, brother.
I love that.
And yeah, I really think, I think there's a really good synergy with the vision for, capital for the label and artists and bringing, and because you really have the blueprint for like what works. Now we just need the resource to, how do we bring 5 King Tophers that, so if you're not in Europe, we have someone in Europe doing it. If you're not in Germany, we have someone in Germany doing it. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that how Jesus modeled?
Yeah, I mean, like it can't just be like people are like, oh, I love what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, it's great, but it can't just be me. Like it has to be. We have to have a whole generation of people that are doing this. Like I don't want just me playing at Tomorrowland. I want, someday for there's 6 of us on the main stage that day that are all carrying the heart of the Father. Like, what would that do to the whole festival and to the what people experience in that place if there's, half the lineup is there and it's all from a place of worship, and you're like, because people are so open at these, they're so open spiritually at these events that you're like, we got to get people who can just point them in the right direction,
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm so passionate about it, is because like I was literally, that's where Satan was trying to get me into the dark like music industry, like 2 Chainz, and like I was basically with videography. So like now I'm making kingdom films and like storytelling. But dude, when I started, I was doing everything for free. Like 2 Chainz, when he first started, he was driving like a Toyota. The Weeknd too, he was at House of Blues, and like I was like, getting backstage at House of Blues, like trying to, get in photography and stuff. Like, and I was at the time, I was kind of, everyone was obsessed with The Weeknd when he first came out.
I mean,
he made
still
that trilogy.
I think
he made that trilogy.
I looked and he was the #1 artist, or it's either him or Bad Bunny. They kind of go back and forth between the #1 artist on Spotify, and it's almost like 100 million people a month now.
That's crazy.
And so this is another thing. It's like people are like, oh, let's disciple nations. I'm like, you want to know who's discipling a generation?
Bad Bunny.
These guys. They have 100 million people a month on one platform consuming their music and singing that over themselves and listening to this. And I'm like, I love like Bill Johnson, but he doesn't reach anywhere close to that. And he should be discipling everybody, but it's like, and so I'm like, I love the idea of sending missionaries to countries and whatever. That's great. But it's like,
if nobody would listen,
if we raised up artists the way that we try and send out missionaries, I think culture in the world would look dramatically different.
Wow. You guys write
That's
that
worth
down, social
quoting.
media
That's
team.
worth quoting right there. I
Yeah,
love the way he says that.
that's the quote right there. You know, say that again. If we raised up artists like we raised up missionaries,
Yeah, if we
that's how we
raise up
can impact
artists like we
nations.
send out missionaries, like the world would look so different. Like
Wow, because artists actually
I'm not
impact culture.
opposed to that. Like that's cool that you want to go to Africa and help people, but like I live in America and I have travel all over the world, and nothing changes culture more than music. Like churches are cool, but like I also live in a city where one of the most influential churches in the world is, and there's so much broken in this city. And I hear the music that's being blasted out of people's cars, and I'm like, hmm, I wonder if they were listening to stuff that carried the heart of the Father. It doesn't have to be worship music, but like, what would happen on a daily basis in the city? Maybe it would look a little bit different.
Wow.
Yeah, it might
That's
not be
so
worship
powerful.
music, but it's music that helps you worship.
Yeah.
So that's a definite shift that's happened in the arts and entertainment world over the last several decades. We've been alive long enough to know what good music sounds like and what not so good music sounds
Yeah.
like in the Christian world or the believers world. And so it's a privilege to be able to connect with you and pray for you and everybody, all the warriors out there going to be supporting you and just get spreading the word about. I don't know. I think there's a marketing budget that could be considered, but there's also the viral element and the movement element, and you know that more than most. So
Mhm.
let's pray that in just more of that viral and that movement kind of
Mm.
element to your music and to your ministry to those who are musicians. So that'll be a privilege for us to be able to do that. And then as we get into VIP here in the next few minutes, that's going to be a fun conversation to go even deeper. Eric, I'm excited.
Yeah, so we're about to go to VIP. You guys get your passes. For the NFTs, we got about 97 more of these NFTs. I'm gonna you guys, and also we are sewing in $2,000 as a movement into Kingdom War. Sorry, Kingdom. What's the label called? We the Bring the
Bring the
Kingdom label.
kingdom.
Bring the Kingdom label, and his. You guys could check out more on their label too in the description. But we are sewing $2,000 into you guys, Topher, and I think this is going to be the beginning of just how do we partner. And also, real quick, in like 30 seconds, what would be your number one piece of advice? We got dozens of artists, artists or people who just aspire to be an artist within our community. What would be what you would say for an artist if they're just starting out or they're just trying some stuff right now?
Be willing to persevere for a long time.
Yeah,
We
that's the
live in
furthest,
a
right?
very like fast-paced, give me now culture. But if you want to be excellent and great at what you do creatively, be willing to put in the time. I always ask people like, if it's going to take you 15 years to get you to where you want to be, would you still say yes today? If you're not willing to say yes, then don't start. Not saying it's going to take that long, but like, do you really believe in this? Do you really, really want to press in? Because that might be what it takes.
That's a great question for the audience right
Mhm.
now. Like in the moment, if it would take you 15 years, tell me if I'm saying this right. If it would
Yeah.
take you 15 years to get to where you believe you're supposed to go, would you still start now? Would you still do it? Would you
Yep.
still continue? And if that's you, say yes in the comments. Like just declare it. Just and that it could be music, could be arts, entertainment of any kind, but if it's anything worth pursuing, say yes in the comments if that's you, because that's a prophetic statement in agreement with King Topher and Eric, myself, and others to say, yeah. And that's a way of helping take responsibility for what you are sensing could be your journey. And taking responsibility and having that kind of grit, like you're saying, King Topher, is legit. Anything else besides the 15-year question? That's a good one.
I mean, don't feel like just because you're a Christian creating that it's going to be successful. Like I see that a lot. We're like, well, I'm a Christian. I should, and it's like, oh, that doesn't mean what you're doing is good.
Mhm.
And so pursue excellence. Pursue excellence and pursue the Holy Spirit. And if you do those two things, I mean, when you pursue the Holy Spirit, you'll be pursuing excellence. But you know, make sure your craft is excellent and you're willing to put the time in. And then you know that you did everything you could, and you have to be okay with where everything kind of goes from that point onward.
That's so powerful. Well, Topher, stick around. We're gonna give away some prizes, and we're gonna go backstage. I put the Zoom link in the private chat, but stick around and you guys, we have we guys. So it was
Oh,
300.
shout out to Blockchain Becky. She's
Oh
the
yeah,
best. She is
come
the
on.
absolute best. I want to give her a shout out.
There's Becky Austin Leathers. Shout out to Blockchain Becky. Where did you meet Blockchain Becky from? She's been
We met in Dallas in April of last year. Michael McIntyre is a friend of mine. He does these things called Next Level
Oh yeah,
Experience.
Michael.
And so Michael was like, you need to come down to this one. I want you to introduce you to a friend who's really big into crypto and everything. And met Becky, and she's just the sweetest lady. She's become like a mom to us and my family, and she loves my wife and our son. So she's the best.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I keep I keep going back and forth. My friend what's his name? Darren does his podcast stuff, and he's like, I think his podcast company is called Kingdom Bringers. So it's
Okay.
interesting as I'm getting the kingdom, like everyone like he does podcasts, he does it for Michael McIntyre. And anyways, Becky helped me get on Michael's show. I've been trying to get on his show for a while now. Anyways, but I've been going back and forth talking to Michael, and we're gonna interview him soon too. And
Great.
I've been meaning to go to Dallas to his house, but I need to get out there.
He's a trip, man. He is hilarious.
Yeah, I keep saying, dude, come to the house to this thing, you know, NBA. You need to get your
Yeah.
NBA. And I'm like, okay, I will for sure. But okay, so you guys, there was 300 NFTs left. There's only 97 left, you guys. I want to shout out to some of the people. Sue, shout out to Sue for just getting the Kingdom General 222 package. Sue also got the movie fund. So you're coming to the world premiere in Franklin, Tennessee on May 5th. Congrats to you, Sue. Bless you and all that you do. We got M. Goddard just got a 222 package. TJ just got a 222 Hoverman. Shout out to Franny Finn, got a 222, got an NFT. And each of these raffles, you guys, were giving out on March 1st. 2 of you guys are going to get $1,000 cash, PayPal, wherever you want us to wire the cash. And 2 of you are going to win that. And 1 of you are going to win $10,000 in index coin. 10 of you are going to win $1,000 index coin. And 2 of you are going to win our $2,000 course we shot in the studio in Texas. On even, you know, how we raised $50,000 for this project and turned it into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. We basically reverse engineered and uncovered everything for you, done with you, how we did it. Shout out to Joy for becoming a Kingdom Captain, Bevins for becoming a Kingdom Captain, Joshua Deck and their family Angie for becoming a Kingdom Holder. Crystal Travis entered in to win. We got Schaefer entered in to win. MJ Finch, Joshua, Angela, Sue as well got a Kingdom Captain package and a Kingdom General package. Come on, McKenna just you know, she was one of our first holders in the first 300. Now we're on the last 100 of 7,777 in a year and 4 months. Remember what King Topher said, perseverance. You know, we've almost like this has been like a radio station. We've like almost like been up and down for the past year and a half. You know, funding 23 people on staff and you know, a lot of overhead for everything we're developing and building, but God has sustained us, and we just persevered, and we don't give up, and we just keep producing and keep reinvesting, and we keep sowing into people. We bought land in Uganda. We're just sowing everything we have and seeing what God's going to do with it and with the seed. And
remember, we started with the
harvest time.
7,777 NFTs. We're down to like,
dude, yeah,
we're down to almost nothing. You got to grab. You got to grab them while they're there, because you're gonna have to buy them on the secondary market if you.
Yeah, shout out to Teresa. Kim got the 222, 2,222. Kim's got a Kingdom General package. Teresa, Jana, one of our missionaries as well. Always blessing. Angie, Cindy, Warren, Crypto Warren, Chance Enterprise. So man, just shout out to all of you guys. You guys are entered in. 1 NFT is 1 ticket to win in part of the 22,000, and one the Kingdom General package is 10, and then the 5-star is 25 and invited to the world premiere, to the red carpet event. So here's some of the prizes. We're gonna announce this on March 1st. We're gonna go on Twitter Spaces. We're also gonna stream this. You'll be able to show your NFT, show your warrior, change it as your profile picture, blast the internet. So here are some of the creative quests. You know, I love that we have today as music, because we just had these creative quests where people created these artifacts that were kind of Eladrian in our world. And so these are some of the things that people produced and made with their hands: a sword, a goblet, these dolls, this tree, and create. And so here's the winners. First place NFT winner is Lots of Love on Discord. Second place wins a Kingdom t-shirt, Animals for Life. Third place is winning a coffee mug with our Orphan to King Hero's Journey guy that's usually in the background of us right now. Dr. Roxy, shout out to Dr. Roxy, tag her in the comments. And then if you can open a ticket, you guys that won, into give us your address and your MetaMask wallet for this person, for us to give that. You guys give it up to Kingdom Warriors team: Vera, Aurelio, Anna, Shanae, Katie, Michael Morgan, all the different people, Timothy on with us, people who have just been putting love, and all the over 700 Kingdom Warrior holders now. You guys, honestly, this is an honor to serve you guys. And we also did $444 in winners. Tag these people right here: Terry Core. Each one of you are winning a $222 NFT. Here's some of the art examples of the NFT assets from our Sony designer. Sold over $1 million of art to Sony art and animations, and designed this handcrafted for you. I'm glad I didn't draw it, because it would not be the quality it is now. So shout out to Terry Core, Suzanne McDougall, John Paul Kinzinger, Audrey Jones, Judy Jordan, and Wanda. You guys, and this is encouragement. So when you're in the private group, you can't share and tag 3 people in the comments and or you can, but you can only share on the public page, the business page that has 1,300 likes, and my digital creator personal page that I'm streaming on into the group right now. That's where day 4 and 5, if you don't have any money, or you just still want to be a part of winning, then this is your chance to still win. We have 4 more NFTs to give. Like I said, there's only 97 left that we have to sell, but we have 4 of them reserved. And these 6 we have for you guys right here. So shout out to Wanda Kissinger as well. And so, man, this is awesome. You guys, if you're a holder, you also can earn income with our Kingdom Ambassador affiliate program, kingdomambassador.com. So another benefit. And for the teams, you guys put some fire emojis, put some hearts, put some love for the teams. Everyone on first place team is winning a $222 NFT. And we got first place. Timothy, you want to read them out first, second, and third?
We got Web3 royalties, Kingdom Web3 accelerators, Maximum Impact, and Kingdom for runners.
Come on. Okay, so Web3 royalties, you guys led the way. You guys won first place, each one of you on your team. If the team leader can collect all of your MetaMask addresses, get it to us ASAP so we can airdrop that to you over the weekend. Great job to all the different teams, Web3 accelerators, Maximum Impact. First place, you got to be first. So first place is winning. Top contributor, Wanda, also wins an NFT. Or no, Wanda, you're winning a Blue Yeti mic. So shout out to Wanda. You're going to win a Blue Yeti mic.
Cleaning up. She's cleaning up today. I like
cleaning up house. Yeah. Wanda, she also became a 5-star general. So her sewing into that, declare 100-fold over becoming a 5-star general, one of our top tiers. And holders of these unique assets. And and then it's cool to see the people sometimes that are always given to Kingdom Warriors, like even though we do everything random generated, they always get, Holy Spirit picks them. So Wanda's clean up house. You're winning a Blue Yeti mic, Wanda. Your voice is going to go and expand more. We give a Blue Yeti mic away on each thing because the enemy tried to steal my voice and many voices, and your guys' voices and stories, testimonies need to get out there. You have something that you have overcome that can help a Timothy or someone that is still looking for the answers that you have. So Cherry Minas, I felt led to, you're going to win an NFT, a 222 NFT, but also feel led to sew the $2,000 course into you, Cherry. So team and Cherry, let us know your email, and we're going to give the course, the $2,000 course on how to launch your own NFT project and movement. Cherry is been a mover and shaker in the Philippines and really just hungry to use this technology for good. So most encouraging warriors, all of you guys are winning a 2-2 NFT, 3 of them. So shout out to Allison from the UK, Maria from the Philippines, Matt Tarina from New Zealand. And let's see, what else do we got? I just love being able to give stuff away. And you guys, future Star Wars, Kingdom Warriors, Legends of Eladria, we are building it. Day 4 action task, you guys, you can go and watch this video. You know, it's the story that just got produced. Shout out to Taffany, one of our kingdom. This is what I love about Web3 is one of our kingdom generals, just like King Topher was talking about McIntyre and Becky, like how everyone's is connected. And then also one of our kingdom generals is on the board in Nashville of Women in Film. And they, you know, I asked if someone can help us do an origin story. And they've been, her and Ricky, they do amazing films out here in Nashville and short films. And they produced an amazing story. If you guys can go to YouTube and check this out, team, if you guys can put this on there and also put this in the guides, it means the world. You guys go to the YouTube. We're going to start really producing a lot heavier on YouTube. I'm talking to a YouTube expert to really take all of our media and content and really just make the most of it. And I want you guys, one of the other challenges to, on your own personal Facebook, get your phone out and tell your story. And whether it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, tell your testimony, your Jesus story, hashtag Jesus saves, hashtag my story. Tell your story, tell your testimony. Your testimony literally will impact the world. If you want to come backstage with King Topher, click this link right here, or write this link down. And yeah, there's some music stuff right here. We're going to keep betting on music, and we can't wait to partner with King Topher on a musical collaboration. But that was it for this challenge, you guys. On Monday, get into your on Monday or whatever day is March 1st. We're going to be announcing the $22,000 prizes winners, and then also the NFT winners of day 4 and day 5 the stream. So make sure you like, tag 3, and share. It's an honor just to be able to give stuff away. Topher, what do you think about just even the idea that of NFT projects, like how, like the idea that only God could have thought of an NFT project that could just give money away, give stuff away? It's almost like an ecclesia, because we're still impacting the nations, but it's just a family of people all over the world that own. We're connected through one, we love Jesus, and we own these NFTs, and we're all getting trained up.
I love it. I just think God's doing all sorts of fun stuff right now on the earth. It's different than we've ever seen before. And NFTs and things like that, bringing the kingdom of heaven to earth, are part of that. You know, a few years ago, people didn't know what these things were. And then here they are now, you know, bringing the kingdom of heaven to earth. It's beautiful.
Come on. So you guys, yeah, it's Warrior Wednesday. That's what March 1st lands on. So we're gonna do a training, show you how to do everything. You know, how to, you know, upload your profile, all the different stuff you're gonna want to do to onboard and train you guys. And we're gonna announce all the $22,000 distributed to you guys, the holders. And yeah, this week, you guys, by Sunday at midnight, we're gonna be sold out. I declare we're going to be sold out, and we want to get us your MetaMask address as soon as you can so we can airdrop this to you for this party. We're going to party, put our NFTs, put the art, celebrate our art all over the internet. And yeah, we're going to blast culture. And then, yeah, I just declare we're going to, King Topher, for one of our short films or videos or something we do, we're going to be able to have some of King Topher's music in it. And yeah, it's time. Welcome home, you guys. If you're not in the kingdom, you should be. Last tips of wisdom before we go to VIP, Topher and Timothy, for the audience.
I mean, I don't really have anything else to share. Like, I shared a lot. So if there's anything specific you want me to touch base on, I can. But yeah.
Timothy, any last words?
I just think it's encouraging to know that there's kingdom-minded musicians, artists, entertainers. We have so many talented people that are either afraid to come and bring excellence, or they're maybe bringing excellence, but they're afraid to bring their faith to the party. And when you see that happen together, it's almost like the most powerful hybrid you can think of. You have that with your craft, but then you have your faith that you're able to infuse that. Now you're supercharged. Now you got superpowers. So I just love hearing the stories, Topher, and I really appreciate you being transparent. And even as we go deeper and dive deeper into VIP session right now, really appreciate you and being able to let us know how to support you and how to be praying for you. And I know that we're going to be doing projects together in the future, so that'll be fun to kind of explore and just pray about and see when the timing is on that. But hey, let's all listen to some good music and just I'm going to be streaming this stuff on my house.
You know, follow me on Instagram and shoot me a message and let me know what songs you're digging. And yeah, love.
What's the at? Is it at Royal?
Thanks for all the people that joined today. before we go to the VIP thing. But all the people that are here, just thank you for hopping on. I hope this was impactful. And
is it at King Topher or is it
at Royal King Topher?
At
Royal King Topher, you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just type in King Topher on Instagram, it's a verified, so this is a blue check mark by it and everything. And
that's right. I think I saw
me.
it. Yeah,
it's me rocking a crown, so you'll recognize me.
Come on, you guys, give it up for King Topher, and then we're gonna go backstage, get your VIP ticket, come backstage, and it's in the private chat, Topher, and then I'm gonna play the little clip. And there's also, after you buy one NFT, there's a secret page where you can be a part and support the film and even come to the world premiere. So buy at least one NFT to see that secret page where you could be a part of that. And I'm gonna play some narration from Rhys Davies, who played Gimli in Lord of the Rings. He's also Indiana Jones, playing Sala with Harrison Ford, coming out this summer. So God prepped, our film to really come out at the same time when now his A-list he was in a Super Bowl commercial. So his A-list talent is really even blowing up our stuff because of that. So I'm excited for that. So I'm going to play this for you guys, and then we're going backstage. Here we go.
In ages past, the land of Eladria was prosperous and bountiful. It was a time of peace. One man's heart gave way to darkness and changed the course of Eladria, creating the world as now it is. After 100 years of war, Eladria was finally overcome by the Dark One. Against the few remaining servants of the Everlight, Lord Dristan has sent his fiercest warriors to exterminate those who resist and would dare to stand against him. In this land, warriors use an amplifier of strength, agility, and healing made from the Inquada stones found deep within the mines of Eladria. Once harvested, Inquada allows those who consume it to push themselves beyond their natural limits. And for that, they must pay a terrible price. As Naldo's life seeped from his body, his death created a spark. A spark that would carry through the forests and hills. The sequence of events was set in motion.
Exciting. So
no, I'm not.
Eric and team, this is incredible.
Okay, we're going backstage. Okay, King Topher, we'll see you backstage.